In the heart of medieval England, during the 12th century, the quiet village of Woolpit was much like any other rural hamlet. Fields stretching to the horizon, humble cottages dotting the landscape, and villagers going about their daily routines. But one day, the ordinary rhythm of life was shattered by an event so strange, so inexplicable, that it would echo through the centuries. At the edge of a deep, wolf-dug pit that gave the village its name, two children appeared as if conjured from another world. They were disheveled and frightened, their clothes made of a texture and style unfamiliar to the villagers. But what truly set them apart was their skin, an unmistakable shade of green. The villagers stared in astonishment, a mixture of fear and curiosity gripping their hearts. These children, a boy and a girl, looked human in every way but for their verdant hue. Their hair was unkempt, their faces thin and gaunt, and their eyes wide with alarm. When the villagers tried to speak to them, the children babbled back in a tongue no one could recognize, neither English nor any dialect known in the region. Their speech was melodic, peppered with sounds that seemed to have no meaning. The villagers were left baffled. Taken aback by the children's condition, some of the more compassionate villagers led them to safety, offering food and shelter. But the children recoiled from the bread and cheese that were placed before them, pushing the food away as if it were foreign to them. Days passed, and it seemed as though the pair might starve until someone brought freshly picked beans, still in their pods. At this, the children's eyes lit up with recognition. They eagerly consumed the beans, raw and whole, as though they had never tasted anything so delicious. Slowly, the villagers nursed the children back to health. Over time, their green color began to fade, returning to more familiar human tones. But the boy, frail and weakened by the ordeal, did not survive long. He succumbed to illness or perhaps heartbreak, leaving his sister alone among strangers. As the girl grew stronger, the villagers tried to bridge the gap between their worlds. They taught her their language, and in time she was able to communicate her story, a tale that would defy belief. She said she and her brother had come from a place called St. Martin's Land, a country where the sun never shone and everything existed in perpetual twilight. The people there, she claimed, all had skin as green as theirs had been. They lived underground, in a world separated from this one by a vast river of light. According to the girl, she and her brother had been tending their father's flock when they heard a strange sound, like the ringing of great bells. They followed the sound, wandering through a cavernous tunnel, only to emerge, blinking and bewildered, into the blinding sunlight of Woolpit. Disoriented and unable to find their way back, they were discovered by the villagers. The story spread throughout the region, capturing the imagination of everyone who heard it. In an age when folklore and reality often overlapped, people wondered, who were these children? Was their story a fabrication, a fable spun by a frightened child? Or had they truly come from another world, hidden beneath the earth? Medieval chroniclers recorded the tale in their annals. Ralph of Coggeshall, a respected abbot, wrote of the incident in his Chronicon Anglicanum, while another chronicler, William of Newburgh, provided his own account. Both described how the children appeared suddenly, their skin green, their language unknown, and their diets peculiar. The accounts agreed on the key details, lending the story a credibility that set it apart from ordinary folk legends. Centuries passed, but the mystery of the green children of Woolpit refused to fade. Historians and scholars pored over the records, searching for clues. Some suggested that the children were Flemish refugees, displaced by war and famine, their language and customs misunderstood by the villagers. Others speculated that malnutrition, perhaps a condition like chlorosis, sometimes called green sickness, could have explained their unusual appearance. Yet neither theory could account for the more fantastical elements, the strange language, the tale of an underground land, the river of light. For some, the story was evidence of something more profound, a glimpse into a hidden world coexisting with our own. In the folklore of medieval England, tales abounded of fairy folk and otherworldly beings who lived beneath the hills, venturing into the human realm only rarely. The green children, with their otherworldly features, fit perfectly into these traditions. Perhaps some mused they were changelings, left behind by the fairies as a warning or a gift. Others looked to the skies for answers. In an era when stories of mysterious visitors were rare, the Green Children offered tantalizing hints of encounters with extraterrestrial beings. Was it possible, some wondered, that these children had come not from beneath the earth, but from the stars above? Their unfamiliar language, their dietary needs, and their aversion to sunlight seemed to support such theories, at least to those willing to entertain the extraordinary. As time went on, the legend of the Green Children found its way into literature and art. Writers and poets drew inspiration from the tale, weaving it into their own works. Some retellings emphasized the children's innocence and vulnerability, while others explored the darker implications of their story. The girl, who survived and eventually integrated into the community, became a symbol of resilience, a bridge between worlds, adapting and surviving against all odds. But even as the story was retold and reimagined, the central mystery remained unsolved. Who were the Green Children? What happened to them before they arrived in Woolpit? And what became of the girl, whose life was forever shaped by her impossible origins? In the centuries since the event, Woolpit has changed. The fields are still there, and the wolf pits that once guarded the village have long since been filled in. But the story of the Green Children lingers, woven into the fabric of the community. Visitors still come to Woolpit, drawn by the legend, hoping to glimpse the place where the boundaries between worlds once seemed so thin. Some search for rational explanations, combing through historical records for evidence of migration, disease, or social upheaval. Others embrace the mystery, seeing in the story a reminder that the world is full of wonders, many of which remain beyond our understanding. The tale of the Green Children of Woolpit endures for a reason. It speaks to something deep within us, a longing for the unknown, a sense that our world is larger and more mysterious than we can comprehend. Whether the children were lost travelers, victims of misfortune, or emissaries from another realm, their story invites us to question the limits of our knowledge, to imagine what lies beyond the horizon. Historians continue to debate the details. Some point to the time period, noting that the 12th century was marked by upheaval, war, and mass displacement. The region around Woolpit was home to many immigrants, including Flemish weavers who might have fled violence or persecution. Perhaps the children were orphans, separated from their family and confused by the trauma of their journey. Their green skin could have been the result of a poor diet, a temporary affliction that faded as their health improved. But even this explanation leaves questions unanswered. How did the children end up in Woolpit, miles from the nearest settlement? Why was their language so unrecognizable? And what of the girl's account of an underground world, where the sun never shone and everything was bathed in twilight? Some researchers have suggested that the story is a folk memory, a way of processing the fears and uncertainties of the time. In an era when the boundaries between the natural and supernatural were fluid, the tale of the Green Children served as a cautionary fable, a warning about the dangers of venturing too far from home, or a metaphor for the challenges of integrating newcomers into a close-knit community. Others see deeper meaning in the story. The Green Children, with their strange appearance and customs, remind us of the ways in which difference can provoke fear and suspicion, but also compassion and understanding. The villagers of Woolpit, faced with something they could not explain, chose to offer help and shelter. Their kindness allowed the girl to survive, to learn their language, and to become a part of their world. The story also invites us to consider the possibility that our reality is not as fixed or as certain as we might believe. In the legend of the Green Children, the boundaries between worlds are porous, and the unexpected is always possible. For those who wish to believe, the tale offers a glimpse of a reality where magic and mystery are always close at hand. In the end, the mystery of the Green Children of Woolpit may never be solved. The historical record is fragmentary, the details elusive, and the truth, whatever it may be, hidden by the passage of time. But the story endures, passed down from generation to generation, a testament to the enduring power of wonder. So as you ponder the fate of the Green Children, consider this. Every legend has its roots in reality, but its branches reach into the unknown. The story of the Green Children of Woolpit is more than a tale of lost children. It is a reminder that the world is full of mysteries waiting to be discovered. Two children, one impossible story. The truth may be lost to history, but the questions remain. Were they victims of circumstance, travelers from another land, or proof of a hidden world beneath our feet? The answer perhaps lies not in the facts of the case, but in the enduring fascination it inspires. For as long as we are drawn to mysteries, the Green Children will continue to haunt our imagination, inviting us to look beyond the ordinary and to wonder at the extraordinary possibilities that the world holds. Follow for more mysteries you've never heard of.